Welcome everyone to my new video. In my new video I'll show you my game I played last Monday against a 1621 rated opponent. So the game started off with me playing e4, my opponent playing e6, going into the French defense. This is a quite common opening for me. I used to play this a lot with black. So then I played d4, my opponent plays d5, all standard. Then I played knight d2, my opponent playing knight to f6. I play e5, so I attack this knight, so he must move this knight away. You can place it here because I'll take it with my queen, as well. The same with this, so that's why you go back here with the knight. Still book. Now I play bishop d3, also a book move, a good move. You develop the bishop, and you also want to develop your knight here and your other knight here, so you defend this pawn, because at this moment this pawn will be very weak after c5, which I will show you later. So my opponent played bishop e7. This is for me um, a new position I never played before, so I was quite shocked to what to play. So I took 5 minutes to think about a clear option, and I came up with f4, which is not the correct move. In hindsight, I would be better off playing something like c3 and just play the position as I would use to, as I just explained with knight to e2 and bishop to and knight to f3 to defend the pawn, because he will strike out with f5, and that's why it's not perfect, but I played it anyways. My opponent plays c5, I play c3, my opponent plays knight c6, then I play knight to f3, defending this pawn, otherwise this pawn will hang in the end. My opponents take this pawn, I take the pawn, and then my opponent shocks me with bishop to h4. Never seen this move before, but it felt very wrong. According to the engine, it's not that bad for him. It's only +1, but I need to move my king to h1, which I completely missed. I played knight takes, queen takes, I saw this. Then I thought after this, and if he plays here, I trap his queen with f5. But sadly, he spotted the tactic, so he went back. And then I want to develop my pieces, because this piece is on the back rank, this piece is on the back rank, and that's why I chose knight to f3. This is actually a mistake. I should move my bishop here to defend this pawn, but that's because now he takes the pawn on d4, and then when I take it back, he has a check. So he didn't sack a piece. I just blundered a pawn. So I was quite tilted at this point. So I played my queen here, which is correct. Takes my knight, and here I thought I must a castle, but I can't castle because my queen will be in check. That's why I chose to play my rook here. It's not quite accurate, but I had some attacking opportunities on this file with my pawn going up the board. After this, my opponent placed queen to b6. It's not a very bad move. You can't punish the move. That's why I played b3, because I want to line up my bishop to also get in the game. And Otherwise, it's very hard to get my bishop into the game because I will need to move my queen, and after that my bishop can develop somewhere here. But that's why I chose to do this. Top engine move is b4, by the way. Very difficult to see because it will be very loose, and I had some ideas of maybe castling long in this position. That's why when he castled, I played my bishop there, as I said. Then he plays rook to e8, lining up his rook with my king. That's why I castled. And not the best move, but that's only when he plays this. I saw this in the game and I thought it was not that bad, but according to the engine, it's slightly better for black. But yeah, I'm not an engine. That's but he didn't play that. He played um, very passively his knight to f8. I was pretty shocked by this move, so I just moved my king into safety because I thought he was going to move his bishop and then move his rook to this open file, which is a logic idea. That's when I played. That's when he played bishop to d7. Um, then I played g5, g4, which is trying to start up attack that I can't play yet because when after all these trades, it's not that much better for white. Engine says it's equal, so very difficult to see. My opponent plays the correct move of training his bishop because his bishop that was here was blocked. So it was very hard to make it useful. My bishop here is very strong because it's a lot of squares that it's facing. So um, I had the opportunity to take, but I thought it was only going to help him. So that's why I didn't take and played f5, starting up an attack to his king because my pawns are all off the board. His pawns are there, so it's not really influencing my king yet, so I'm not really that afraid. And when he takes my bishop, I'll take back with my queen, so that's what happened. Now he wants to start the attack on this side of the board to attack my king. That's when I played f6. Um, After f6, he played a4, which is the best move. Then I played f takes g7 to take his pawn and also attacking his knight. So if he did nothing, I would win his knight, which I wouldn't mind, but my opponent saw that and took with the king, which is the best move. I spent 10 minutes looking at this position to see what I needed to play, because I was still a pawn down and needed to attack to get a good position. So that's why I played uh, queen to f3. Queen to f3 is the best move because I want to attack this pawn and start an attack on this side of the board because his king is very vulnerable now without his pawn here. So he decided to defend his pawn with his queen, which is not the best move according to the engine. So the best move for me right now is to play b4, but it's a difficult position and I was only thinking about the attack of mine. That's why I actually played queen to f6, check. So the only move he has is to go back with his king. And in this position, I spent 50 minutes or so because I saw I could sacrifice my rook. Um, because when he takes, I would actually mate him by pushing this pawn, and it's impossible to defend if he takes if he takes it with the knight. I have checkmate here. If he pushes his pawn, I can just take the pawn, and then still it's either mate here or here. Very difficult. So he couldn't take my rook. That's why this is brilliant. But according to the engine, it's still equal. So after that, he took, which is correct because you can take the rook as I just explained. Then he so a takes b3 is a difficult move because I first wanted to move my rook back, but or push this pawn, but his queen will get active at c2, so I was not entirely sure to what to do. So I just took it. Then he played rook to d8. I had some ideas. I wanted to play rook to d1 first, but he's very cramped with his pieces, so he has not much to do. And I still have an attack on this diagonal with my queen and my bishop. So I thought when he takes my rook in this position, it's still very hard for him because he can't take, because I'll take and still mate here or here. So that's why it's a good move. Now my opponent plays his rook up. Mm, it was a very difficult position for me. I was not sure of what to do. I first wanted to play still rook to d1 to double up on his rook. But still not sure of what to do. I was also planning to play bishop c1 to get my bishop here and then try to mate him. But I settled for knight to f3. I mean, uh, rook to f3. Um, this is not a good move because the reason why I played it is because I wanted to play bishop c1 and I was afraid of this, but this just hangs a rook because when I take, he takes, and then I'll take this, and his rook is hanging. So that's why it's not possible. But still, my idea won't work because when I play my bishop here, it's still gonna be made. Because when he takes, either way, here I get mated by this, or here I'm also getting mated by this. So that's why it's not really bad what I played, but I could have played a better move. That's when he decided to exchange queens. But I had a cool attack on this side of the board, so I thought when I'm trading my queens, I'm still not that much better because it's still equal as of material. I have 4 pawns, he has 4 pawns. I have 2 rooks, he has 2 rooks, and I have a bishop and he has a knight, so still equal. So I decided not to trade my queen and move it to h6. And in this position, my opponent plays queen a5, which is a bad move because of queen to g5 check. I was very happy to see that he places queen away from this very good diagonal. So I check him. He moves to the corner. I check him again. Now I'm back to where I was. And now my opponent is forced to play king to g8. Now I take his rook. Uh, when he takes back, I can take this pawn, so I couldn't really take back. So he tried to check me. Then I blocked with my bishop, and then he tried to check me again. But um, my rook was still hanging, but it also was his pawn. So I moved my rook back, and now he moves his queen back because otherwise this pawn will fall. Now I traded queens, and now I'm a rook up. Move my bishop to defend this, otherwise it will be a fork. Really painful. Then bishop here. Then rook there. Check. Move, letting his king, forcing his king to move there. Then there. Then there. This is all about finishing up, trading rooks, then playing the position till a boring endgame. Then rook there. Now my rook c3 uh, forces him to exchange rooks, but he decided not to blunder his rook because of bishop a3. So that was my game. I won against 16-21, whilst also sacrificing my rook, and I'm pretty happy with this play I played, with this game I played. I mean, so thank you for watching, and hope to see you in the next video. Bye.